Hi friends, welcome back to the SQL 50 series. So here we are with the last problem in the basic joints. So after this we'll be starting the next section that would be on the basic aggregations topic. So today this problem, right, confirmations rate. This is the last problem in our basic joints section. So the LeetCode has categorized this problem as a medium level. All right. So if you go look into the problem, we have been given with two tables. All right. So signups table and confirmations table. So if we go through the schema, you can see that we have two columns, user ID and timestamp. So user ID is of type integer and timestamp is of type date time. All right. User ID is a column of unique values for this table. Each row contains information about the sign up time for the user with the ID user ID. Cool. So it is like it is maintaining some log data, right? Whenever the user has logged in or sign up to their website or whatever application, they are keeping that record. Okay, the user ID and also the timestamp. Okay, and then we have the confirmations table, right? There are three fields in it: user ID of type integer, timestamp of type date time, and action. This is of enum. User ID and timestamp is a primary key combination of columns with unique values. User ID is a foreign key reference column to the signup tables. All right, and action is the enum category of the type confirmed or timeout. So this is the enum type action, and it will be containing either the confirmed or timeout strings. Each row of this table indicates that the user with the user ID requested a confirmation message at timestamp, and that confirmation message was either confirmed or expired without confirming without confirming. Okay, that is timeout. Basically, they are also maintaining a confirmation table along with the signups table. So this confirmation table is like users whenever they are signing up, right? So the server, right, it would actually return this action. Okay, the server would actually return some confirmed. Okay, that so this is basically they are sending some requests. Okay, to sign up or to sign up only, and and this action is the response that is being given by the server. So this action will actually, like, user will be making many requests, right? And this action is the thing that we will be getting from the server. So it will be like, if user on the very first attempt, he will apply for a request. If the server will accept it, so the message of the action will be confirmed. Otherwise we will make multiple requests, and the for the very first messages, action will be timeout, and he will make multiple requests kind of thing. So if we okay, so we'll go to the problem. Okay, we'll go to the problem. If you see this, they are asking us to find the confirmation rate. So the problem name is also confirmation rate. So they are saying that the confirmation rate of a user is the number of confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmation messages. The confirmation rate of a user that did not request any confirmation messages is 0. Cool. Round the confirmation rate to the two decimal places. All right. So this table it was showing us the data of the confirmation requests. Okay. So each row of this table indicates that the user with the user ID requested a confirmation message at timestamp this, and that confirmation message was either confirmed or expired. Okay. They're asking us to find this confirmation rate. So what is the confirmation rate? They are saying confirmation rate is nothing but the confirmed messages divided by the total number of requested confirmation messages. Okay, so that is what they're asking us to find. If you go through the example, right, so we have this table signups and confirmations, and we have all these users, like, so all unique users 3726, they have signed up at this particular timestamp. And if you go through the confirmations table, which contains the request raised by every user, so if you see for the first row, 3, he has signed up at 21/3/2020, and he has made a request. Okay, so if you see, he had made a request in the very next. Okay, let's not go into data that deep. So he has made a request and that request was timed out. Okay, and again there is one more record for the same user ID and that also got timed out. And for 7 he has made some 3 requests and all these have been confirmed. And for 2 he has made 2 requests and for 1 has been confirmed and other has been timed out. So if you see, what they're asking us to find out is they're asking us to find out the confirmation rate of each user. Okay, so guys, if you see this, how we can find out is uh, confirmation rate is like, the number of requests that have been got confirmed, right? The number of requests that have been got confirmed divided by the total number of requests they have made, right? So if you see here, guys, if you see here, this number, okay, user ID with 3, right, ID 3, ID 3 guy, he has made total, right? He has made total, okay, he has made total requests, 2 requests, all right. ID guy, he has made total 2 requests, right? These two, he has made total 2 requests, and out of which the confirmed requests are 0, right? The confirmed requests are 0, right? So what will be his confirmation rate? So his confirmation rate is calculated by, as given in the above problem, right? So confirmation rate is calculated by number of confirmed requests divided by total number of requests. So number of confirmed requests is 0, right? So he has not made anything, and you know that 0 divided by any number is absolutely 0. So the confirmation rate for ID 3, right? So the confirmation rate for ID 3 would be 0. You can see this, the confirmation rate for ID 3 is 0. All right. So if you do the same thing for 7, right? So for ID number 7, his total requests, he has made totally how many requests? So you can see that 1, 2 and 3, right? So 7 has made 3 requests, and out of which the confirmed requests were also 3. You can see that all requests got confirmed. He made 3 requests and all requests got confirmed. So his confirmation rate would be, right, confirmation rate would be, you can see that the formula, right, the number of confirmed requests by total requests, that is 3 by 3, which is nothing but 1. Okay, so you can see that the confirmation rate for 7 is 1. All right, guys. So for 2, you can see he has made 2 requests, out of which 1 got confirmed and 1 got timed out. So it would be like, 1 got confirmed, right? So for ID 2, 1 got confirmed and total request is made 2, right? So it is 0.5. All right, so you can see that he has got 0.5. So basically, after finding the confirmation rates, we need to round that to 2 decimal places. All right. So for 0 it doesn't matter. So for 1 it would be 1.1.00. So now what they have said is they have said that if a user didn't made any, right, if a user didn't made any requests, okay, the confirmation rate of a user that did not make any confirmation messages is 0. So you can see that 6 guy, he has not made any confirmation requests, so that is why his confirmation rate is 0. You can see here. So this is the way how we calculate the confirmation rate, guys. So if you kind of following the SQL 50 series from from the beginning, you will understand that this problem is very similar to our one of the previous problems, right? So that is the average time, average run time of a process per machine, right? So this is very similar to that only, guys, right? So there, like, we were calculating the average time for first we were taking out the runtime of the process, and then we were and then we are calculating the average according to the machine. So here what we it is very related to that problem. Here what we are doing is, we have confirmations table. We need to first find out how many requests are there, and again we need to find out how many out of all that requests, how many requests are confirmed, right? So for there we were calculating for every machine. Here we are calculating for every user. Okay, cool guys. Now if you see this problem, you will again notice that they are asking us to find the confirmation rate for each user. So again, each user, you can see that how many times we have got this word each user, each employee, each machine, per machine. So again you will again understand, you should again get that spike in your mind, right? So whenever you encounter this each keyword, most of the time it is we will be using a left join. So it would be signups left join some another table, right? So for each user means definitely we're gonna keep this signups table on the left side of the join, so we're gonna use the left join. Okay, so guys, so how we can solve this problem, guys? So this is our confirmations table, guys. What we need to do is this table is only saying that, like, this is the only table from where we need to first find out total confirmation requests made by each user. Okay, and we need to then find out total confirmed requests. Okay, so if I break down this problem into two parts. So first we will find out find total requests. Okay, total requests made by users, by each user. Okay, and then we're gonna find out total confirmed. Okay, total confirmed requests for each user. Okay, this is total confirmed requests for each user. And then what we're gonna do, guys? Simple, right? Then we're gonna find the confirmation rate for each user. That is how we will be doing it, guys. We'll be doing it by total, right? Total confirmed, right? Total confirmed requests divided by upon, right? So total requests, okay, total request, this is for user, total request made by the user. Okay, so this is how we can break the problem into parts, different parts. So it is always recommended to when you are solving a very big problem or you are in a project, right? So always try to make it into cut it into pieces, right? That's the very best way that you can solve a problem. Can that in recursion and this backtracking and dynamic programming also, what we do, right? The similar approach we follow. Okay, so now let us solve this, guys. So first, our first task is to take this confirmation table, and we need to find the total requests made by each user. Okay, for each user we'll be finding finding out the total request. So guys, for each user means what? We'll be using a group by, guys. For each user means how we can find out? We'll be definitely using a group by a group by, that is we'll be grouping it by user ID. All right, so similarly for finding the confirmed message also, we'll be using the same group by, and also we'll be using some condition, right, where the message we'll be using the same clause, group by clause, and also with condition, right? Condition, that is action should be, right, action should be confirmed. So this is a pseudocode kind of thing before writing code. So let us now solve this problem, guys. So for guys, what I am doing is instead of using subqueries, right? So in previous problems I was using subqueries and all. So in this problem, I will use a CTE. Okay, so which is also called called as common table expression. So basically, there is both CTs and subqueries are same intermediate tables, session tables. So once your query execution is done, both these tables will be not be existing, right? So these are like only in the intermediate kind of thing, and they are session specific tables. Okay, so the mostly these there is no, in modern database optimization, right, query optimization engines, the efficiency of both these things are same. Okay, so there is nothing like one is better than the other. Okay, both are good. Okay, depending upon our needs, we'll be using them. Sometimes whenever you want to use a query repeatedly again and again, then a common table expression will is very useful, and these CTEs are actually kept at the top of the SQL script. So we need to use that CTEs we need to define it as very top of the script. Okay, whereas this is subquery, it is like it is at particular place right now, guys. We have seen it as we have seen it in previous problems. We were defining it in between the query. It was also like completely it made our simple queries into complex things. Okay, so it is subqueries are, they have some benefits, but up to some limits. Okay, so if we are using a query again and again in our SQL script, then it is not recommended to use that subquery again and again, define it again and again. So instead of that, we can use just one city, and we can reference that city. So this is the thing, guys. So we'll be using the city. So how we define the city is using the with keyword. So with the CTE name, right? So I'll just use CTE1, and this is the syntax, guys. So with CTE1 as, and then brackets. Okay, we should use this circular brackets, and now we need to write our query. Okay, whatever this query we have, the select query, right? So we need to define that query inside this uh, syntax. So this is the syntax for defining a city, right? So now let me write it. Let me what I will do is I'll first this is the way to define the city, guys. So let me just comment it for a second, and let me just solve above problem. Okay, so what we need to find out is we need to find the total requests made by each user. Okay, so how we will find it, guys? Total requests made by each user, simple, right? We'll be using the group by, right? So from confirmations table, right, what we need to group it by user ID, right? And then we need to select, now every if after this statement, what happens, I've said you many times, right? After this statement, SQL engine will actually scan this whole table, and it will create groups. Okay, it will create three group, and under three group it will put these two records, and it will create one more group 7, and it will put these records, and it will create one more group 2, and it will put all these records. Now on those groups we will be performing aggregation functions. Okay, so on those groups, what I'm selecting is, definitely I need to select the group group column, otherwise this will give me, this SQL will throw an error. Okay, we need to select the group, group by column, whichever column we are grouping it, we need to absolutely select that, otherwise it will throw an error, because the group should be there, right? Otherwise it is nothing. Okay, it is meaningless. Okay, so after selecting the group to column, we need to now whatever the data is inside that group, we need to we can use any aggregation function. So what we need is, we want to see total requests made by them. So total requests made by them will be, what we can use, we can use the count, right? So count will actually give us how many times that row occurred, right? So that is like, if like the number of times the row occurred in this table means that many requests they have made, right? So two times the three row is coming, right? The two times this row is coming, so that is why if I take the count of it, it gives me the number of requests they have made. So if I take this count, and this will be my, I'll rename this column to total requests. Okay, user total requests, user total requests. Okay, so if I run this query now, you can see that for every user will be getting how many requests they have made. Okay, so you can see here, guys, 2 has made 2 requests, 3 has made also 2 requests, 7 has made 3 requests. So we have got this. Now what I'm saying is, instead of keeping subqueries, so if I do subquery for this and subquery for this, it will be very jumbling kind of things, like we have previously observed, like how our query become very big and big. So instead of that, we'll be using a CTE. So you can see that how a CTE will in readability way, kind of way, it will keep our query, it will keep our complex query into very nice and readable kind of thing. Okay, so I'll just take out that query, and I'll place that query inside my CTE. So this was my syntax for defining city, and I placed that city inside this. Sorry, I placed my query inside this city. Now what? How I can access this city is simple. If I do a select star from my city, you can see that, guys. I'll be getting the same result. City1. All right. So if I do a select star from this, you can see I've got the same result. So this is the CTE, guys. Okay, so as simple as, like, very simple to define and use. So it is similar to that views, right? How we create views, like, we define a view and again we do the same select star from that view. So it is similar, like I'm saying, like, defining kind of thing. I'm saying it as same, but functioning they have some differences. Okay, so this is the city, guys. Now we have created this city for our total requests, right? Now we need to secondly we need to calculate the total confirmed request for each user. Okay, so guys, when we are creating CTs, right, only if we need to create multiple CTs, right, we should not use with clause twice. Okay, we need to use only once. We need to use this with only once in our script. And if we need to define multiple CTs, what we need to do is, after this first CTE, syntax, we need to keep a comma, right? And then we need to define a new CTE. Okay, so I'll be creating CTE2. So like this is the way to create multiple CTs. Okay, again we should not keep here with, okay, with keyword. That will be giving us a untraceable error. I'm saying you guys, because I've also faced this problem and I was also not able to track where the error was coming from. Okay, so it will not say that you have used to with. Okay, so I was getting some other error. It was saying that, select expression is wrong kind of error. So be careful when you are defining multiple cities. I've faced this error. I've encountered this error multiple times. That is why I'm stretching here. All right. So now, if I do select star from here, very sorry. So now what we'll do, guys, we need to find out total confirmed requests for each user. Okay, confirmed requests, simple right now, guys. So again we'll be doing this from table, from confirmations. Again we'll be doing this group by user ID. And now after grouping it, basically what we need to do is, okay, we should not do group by immediately. Okay, see, from confirmations we need only the confirmed messages. Okay, so first I will filter out only the confirmed messages, guys. So where my action is equals to confirmed. Okay, so if I do this, right, select star. All right, so before keeping it in a city, let me execute it in outside. Okay, so if I execute this now, guys, I think it will give me an error, because here, yeah, invalid table name. You can see that it is giving me an invalid table name, because I've not ended this. Okay, because of this error, guys. So here I've kept a comma and I have not given a new city, so that is why it is giving some untraceable error. So if I run it now, I'm not selecting anything from this city, and you can see now it has run. Okay, it has worked. And if you see, we have got, you can see that we have got only the confirmed rows. Okay, now on this confirmed rows we will be doing this group by and count. Okay, we'll be taking group by and count. So now what we will do is, in this, after we have filtered out the confirmed rows, we will be doing a group by on user ID, and then the same way we'll be selecting that user ID and taking the count of star. Alright, so now if I execute this, you can see that now we have got the confirmed requests for users who have got confirmed only. Okay, we have not got for every user, but we have got the confirmed messages who have got it. Okay, so for 2 you can see he has got 1 confirmed messages, and that is why the the count is 1. and for 7 he has got 3. Okay, now guys, if you see, so this is what this will be: user confirmed requests. Okay, and I'll just select this whole query and I'll keep it in my CTE2. Alright, so I'll also keep this CTE2 under my this heading. Okay, alright guys, so this is my CTE2, and I'll also do this select star from CTE2. Alright, so I'll execute it now. So I'll just copy this result output and I'll paste it over here. Let me also take the output for this CTE1 also. Where is the output? Okay, invalid table name. You can see that, guys, invalid table name. So because I have kept a comma here and I have not defined a new city, that is why it is giving me invalid table name, which is, you will be thinking what is invalid, right? So if I remove that comma, you can see now it works perfectly fine, and it will give me an error because this city is coming here. It will give me an error. You can see that SQL command not properly ended. So these kind of errors you will be getting, guys, when you are dealing with cities. So now I have commented out the second city. Now it should not give me any error. Let us see. So now you can see, guys, we have got the output, right? So this is the output for this, and now you can see, guys, we have solved the first two problem. Okay, first two tasks. Okay, so we have find out, right? We have find out total requests made by each user, and we have also find out how many how many users got confirmation requests. Okay, confirmation, how many users got confirmation messages. So you can see that 2 has made 2 requests, 3 has made 2 requests, 7 has made 3 requests, and out of that 2 has got only 1 request he has got passed, and 7 has got 3 requests passed. Now what we need to do is, guys, so you can see that they have set us to find the confirmation rate for each user. Okay, they have set us to find the confirmation rate for each user. That is why you can see that in 6 has not made any request, so he was not available in this table. Okay, and also you can see that 3 has made requests but he has not got any confirmation request. So what we need to do is we need to join all these tables, guys. Okay, the very first thing is, you can see that for each user we need to find the confirmation rate. So for each user means we will definitely be using the signups table, and we will be doing a left join. Okay, signups left join, and these two tables joined. Okay, so what we need to do is we need, like how we have done in our previous problem, one of the previous problem, like we have used 3 joins. Okay, so we were having that one of the problem, right, student and examinations, so in which we had 3 tables and we have joined all those 3 tables, right? So here also very similar to that problem, we will be joining all these 3 tables, guys. So if you are confused, don't get, just watch the video in slow motion and try to understand each and every word of me. Otherwise you can use many AI tools, right? Okay, you have notebook LLM, which is very good tool, right? So you can just paste my YouTube video link over there, and you can write a prompt to explain in very simple terms in whatever he has said in this video. So you can write that kind of prompts in notebook LLM and you can get it. Okay, so what we will be doing now, guys, is we'll be joining these 3 tables. So before that, what we will do is we will try to join these 2 tables first. Okay, we will try to join these 2 CTEs first, and then we will perform that left join, okay, with this signups table. So what we will do is, firstly we will join these 2 tables. Okay, these 2 CTEs. Okay, so this is the intermediate step, like 2.5. We'll be joining the above 2 CTEs, right? So how we'll be joining it, guys? We will be needing a left join only, guys, because we do not want to, if you use a join, you can see that if I use a join, I'll be losing my 3 has also made a request, right? So I don't want only join, I want a left join. I also want how many requests 3 has made. So what I'll do is I'll be using a left join. So from CTE1 and C1, left join CTE2 C2. Oh, 1 second. Left join CTE2 C2 on condition, guys. User ID is a common, right? User ID is a common field. On C1 dot user ID equals to C2 dot user ID. Let me do a select star. If I do a select star, you can now see that, yeah, table or view does not exist. Okay, so there's something. Oh my god, I have not uncommented this. So I think this should work, and let me just put a comma here, guys, otherwise this will fail like anything. So yeah, it is correct now. If I execute it, both these cities should be joined, and now you can see, my dear friends, both the cities have been joined. And now what we have got is, we have got user ID and the total requests, right? And also the user total, how many confirmations they have got. So you can see 2 has made 2 total requests, and he has only 1 request got confirmed. For 7, right, he has made 3 total requests and 3 have been confirmed, and 3 has made 2 requests, but none of them were confirmed, guys. So now this was our CTs joined. Now what we need to do is, we need to join all these tables, guys. Okay, so okay, this was our intermediate step. And let me, now what we need to do is, along with this table, right, along with this thing, we need first, this was coming for only 3 users, but we need for every user. Okay, for every user in the signups table, we need the record. So for 6 has not made any request, so for that guy also we need to calculate the confirmation rate. So for that, what we will be doing is, we'll be, for these two left join, okay, these whole table will be also joining that table. Okay, we'll be joining signups table with this whole in resultant table using a left join. So it will be like this, guys. So from signups, okay, from signups s, left join, all right, left join CTE1, okay, left join CTE1 on user ID, okay, s dot user ID equals to C1 dot user ID. Okay, so I think you got confused completely. So what I will do is, I have showed you this intermediate resultant table, right? So forget about it. Okay, forget about it, because what I will do is, forget about it. Okay, so I'm not creating any CT for this. If I would create a CT, then you would understand it clearly. But what I will do is, I'll start from the beginning. Okay, so most of you will be getting confused. That is why I'll be starting from first. Okay, so what I will be doing is, I'll join first my signups table and the total request table. In that way, I will be getting records for all my users. Okay, because I need to calculate the total confirmation rate for every user, right? That is why I'll be using from signups table as left join my CTE1, okay, the total request table, okay, that is CTE1, right, CTE1 C1. This we will be joining on what? On the user ID. User ID equals to C1 dot user ID, right? So I'll be selecting star, and if you see it, guys, you can see that we'll be getting rows for each and every user in the signup table. So you can see that we have got rows for each and every user. Okay, so you can see that 6 was not made any request. That is why his total request is null. Okay, so these are coming from our left table, that is signups, and these are coming from our right table. Now what we need to do is, guys, we have created one more table which was having the user confirmation request. So what I'm doing is simply I'm joining that table with my this particular table. Okay, so what I'm doing just a multiple join. I've did it, signups left join CTE1, and for this table only, I'll be adding one more table. I'll be joining this whole resultant table with another table. Okay, so how can I write? Simply, I'll be using again a left join, guys, because I need three also. If I do a join, then three will be mostly finished. Okay, so I do not need to use join because join will only give me the matched records, but I don't want that. But I want confirmation rate for each user. That is why we'll be using a left join only. So left join CTE2 C2. So again on the same. Okay, so C1. Okay, so we'll be using join on on what particular table we need to use join. We should not use I think we can use s dot user id, or we can use simply c1 dot user id. Just think about it, guys. If I use s dot user id, what will happen? So nothing, I think nothing will happen, guys. I can use anything. Just write it and say it. Just try it. Okay, uh, I'm assuming that nothing will happen, so let me just check it. C2 dot user id. All right, so let me run it now. I assume that nothing should happen, but let me check it. Okay, yeah, so you can see that nothing has happened. Okay, uh, because by the way it will contain all this thing, guys. Okay, you can use s dot user id or c1 dot user id because it is left join now, guys. So I think it doesn't matter. Okay, so if I use c1, let me copy this. If I use c1, I think if I use c1, uh, c1 will also keep my 6 record. Okay, it shouldn't touch that, but I think it should be the same. Okay, if I use c1 or s, it should not get any impact. You can see we are getting the same result, guys. So 6 3, and yeah, so we have got the same result. Okay, there's no problem in it. Okay, so we can use c1 or s. Okay, so now you can see this, guys, like how we got this table, right? So we have joined all these tables. Now you can see that we have user id, and we have user total requests and user configuration requests. Now it is very easy for us, right? So I know that I've taken long, like now it is like 40 minutes. I have taken very long video, but guys, I need to make you that I wanted to make you understand this problem in very uh, very easy manner. There are very other solutions which are very best. Okay, and which does not need all these things, right? So we can actually solve it by few other methods, like using average aggregation method. So that also I will I'll make a separate video on that. Basically I wanted to show you, like, without using all those things, how can we solve this problem. So I've introduced this CTs, how we can define it, and how we can use it in our programs, right? So I have taken a bit long in this video, but I want you to understand, like, different ways of solving this problem. And if you do not remember kind of such functions, aggregation functions, then how to solve. Most people will be, they will be knowing count and sum, right? Min and max. Sometimes they, our average function, they will be, it will be going out of mind. And you believe me or not, 60% of people do not know how average function works. Okay, so we will get to that level also, like how we can use average function and how we can use case when statement. So using both these, the combination of case when and average, we can solve powerful complex problems, guys. So we will be coming to that also, but here I'm showing you, like, with only the limited set of basic fundamentals, how we can solve the problem. Okay, So yeah, so I'm gonna, I'm gonna not take any much more time, guys. Let us finish this problem up. Okay, it has already crossed 40 minutes. So you can see this, guys. Now we have user ID, we have user total requests and user confirmed requests. Now it is easy for us, right now, guys? So it was very similar to our previous problem, right? That runtime problem, process average process runtime, like how we have first find out the runtime, and then we have divided that total total runtime by the number of processes that were running, and we were taking the average of, we were calculating, we have got, that's how we got the average runtime per machine. Similarly, what we have tried to do, we have tried to take out the timeout and confirmed in separate columns, so that now you can see that I have got user ID, and now I can simply divide my user configuration requests divided by the total requests. That will give me my confirmation rate. Very simple, right now, guys. So this is what I wanted to tell you, like how we can solve problems without using any extra functions. So we'll be using that functions also in coming. I will make a separate video on that. Okay. So you can see we have got a timestamp, we have nothing to do with it. Okay. So now I think you have understood it. Now let me just select the things. Okay, now what we need to select, guys, we need the user ID. So here we have joined three tables, so we need to use the s dot user ID, guys. So be sure that you need to use s dot user ID, because you have, if you use c1 and c2, so you can see that this is the sign up table, this is our cte1 and this is our cte2. If you use this c1 or c2, you can see that some of the user IDs are null, so you should never use, for you should never use that c1 and c2 dot user ID. It should come from the sign up tables, because we are calculating confirmation rates. Okay, confirmation rate for each and every user, so each and every user that will come from my leftmost table. Okay, so s dot user ID. Now what we need to find out, guys, we need to divide our user confirmed messages. Okay, user confirmed requests. So where is this user confirmed request coming from? It is coming from c2 dot c2 table, right? cte2. So we have defined it as c2 here. So user conf requests divided by c1 dot our user total requests. Okay, so user total requests. All right, so this will actually give me my confirmation. This is my confirmation rate, guys. I'm sorry, this is my confirmation rate. All right, so let us run this. Okay, and let us see, guys. If you notice here, we have null values. Okay, so you can see we are in this two columns, user confirmed requests and user total requests, we have null values. So what it will result, guys, null. So what we are doing, user confirmed requests by user total request, right? So null divided by 2, what it will give me? Null divided by null. Okay, let us see that. So basically in Oracle, right, so null divided by 2 is giving me null, and null divided by null is giving me null. Okay, so what we can do is, you can see that in our output table, right, null divided by 2 is giving me null, and null by null is also giving me null. Okay, so what we can do is, guys, simply on our output table, right, what we can do simply is, we can use our coalesce function. Okay, so we have seen that coalesce function, we can pass any number of any variable length of parameters, sorry, arguments. So that will, that coalesce function will choose the first non-none value, right? So we have used that. So that function is specific to the Oracle. I guess it works in MySQL also. If not, please check on the internet. Okay, so here I will use one more function in Oracle, that is NVL. Okay, so NVL is also very similar to that coalesce, but it will contain only two arguments, guys. So the first argument is my, the expression or column which is expected, okay, which might give me a null value. So I'll keep that particular column or expression in my first parameter, and then the replacement for that null value. So here what I'm doing, I'm just replacing my null values with 0. Okay, so it is very similar to the coalesce function. Okay, so this NVL is again, it is strictly in Oracle. And one more thing we need to add, guys, that is rounding. Okay, so they have set us to round up to 2 decimal places. So at last what we need to do is we need to use this round function. Okay, so this was our whole NVL, right? So this was our expression, okay, the confirmation rate, and we have used this NVL function to replace all the null values with 0, and then we are passing whole this NVL function along with this, inside expressions, we are passing it to the round, okay, to to keep 2 decimal places. Okay, so this is the solution, guys. Let us see if it runs properly and passes this given test case. Oh my god, it is, it is already 47 minutes, guys. So yes, it has passed. Okay, it has passed our given test case. All right, you can see that the output is correct. It has passed the test case, the output is correct, right? So for 2 it is giving me 0.571, and for 6 and 3 it is 0. So now let me just submit it and check if it passes for all the backend test cases. So yep, guys, it has passed. Cool, right? So it was already, I think, this problem has crossed completely. Like I've said in my intro videos, I've said I'll not keep more than 10 minutes. But trust me, guys, you bear this amount of time in this starting problem, so that when we go and try to solve medium, like we have one section, right, in advanced joints or subquery section, we have multiple medium level questions here. So if we spend most amount of time in these problems, right, understanding these kind of problems, then when we are solving medium and hard problems, then it would be very easy for us, guys. We can spend 15 to 20 minutes there only. Otherwise, if we do not spend it in the beginning, right, we might end up spending 1.5 hours in that medium and hard problems. So please bear with me. Okay, okay, let me let us check the other solutions. Okay, so it is a good habit, right? Yes, guys, so you can see that they have used this average. Okay, so they have used this function which I was talking, right? So they have used this average and case when statement. So basically, if you can, if you want to go, check this solution, like how it is working, you can go through. Otherwise, I will make a separate video, guys, on this problem only. I will make one more video, like different way, different versions of solving. So I'll also create one more video on this video, sorry, on this solution. So yes, guys, okay, so that's it from this problem, guys. So I've tried my level best. So basically, the other way of solving it, you can see how smaller the code is, but if you this is like you need to understand how it is working, average, and what is this case. I'll create separate video in which I will be explaining you every nitty gritty detail, guys. Okay, after that video you will be very clear with all these functions. So before going on to that right now, guys, I want to first solve this problem with the tools, or with the with the knowledge whatever we have. I want to solve with that knowledge this problem. Okay, that is why I have used I've just brought just introduced CTs. So CTs are nothing, guys. It is like it is similar like a reusable code. That's it only, guys. I'm not used anything extra here. Okay, I've just used CTs which are nothing but reusable kind of things, right? And then everything is very similar to our previous problems, only select statements and group by and count. Okay, and then we are using again that left joins only. Okay, so in previous problems you can see, guys, how we have done joins, right? So we were using left join, and we were keeping a subquery there. It was looking very complex, and it was looking shabby and not proper, right? So if you see here, we have not used any subquery, and it is looking very goodly, I mean, it is very goodly readable, right? So you can see that this they can understand that this is some table, right? So this is the CTEs, guys. So it will make our code, like if the query is complex, right, it will make our code more readable. That is the only benefit, right, of the CTE. So yes, guys, so that's it from this problem. So thank you for bearing with me all this, 50 minutes, almost an hour. Okay. So, but I'm sure that it will help you in, making your SQL fundamentals strong. Okay. So thank you. I'll meet you in the next problem. Cheers. Happy learning.